Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Game Esoteric on our continuing series on Atomiswave to Dreamcast ports. And it is absolutely incredible that I can keep making these videos because we are getting conversions basically every single day from MegaVolt 85. And today we're taking a look at Guilty Gear X 1.5, which was never ported to any home console. Guilty Gear X is on the Dreamcast, and XX or Double X was available as well, but this is the only time you're going to be able to play this on a home console. And 1.5 was basically a balance re-release. It kind of balanced some of the characters and made the game a little bit more fair and a little bit more fluid, but Guilty Gear is an absolutely amazing game, and it has some of the most lush animations in a fighting game that use 2D sprites ever, because Arc System Works was known for their amazing art style and ability to put so many frames of animation in a game. So to be able to play this on a Dreamcast is awesome, and it kind of basically makes Guilty Gear X for the Dreamcast, which I do own and play occasionally, kind of an obsolete release. You're going to want to play 1.5 versus playing 1. So it's awesome that we're able to get this game on Dreamcast. And I had absolutely zero issues playing this on my optical disc emulator or on an emulator itself. It worked perfectly fine. There was no hitching, there was no freezing. Some of the other games, like Fist of the North Star, do like to freeze on occasion, but I had zero issue with Guilty Gear here. And as far as the game's concerned, if you've never played a Guilty Gear game before and you like 2D fighting games, you absolutely owe it to yourself to check them out, because the entire series, and it's still going on as of today, they are all amazing games. Arc System Works never releases a bad fighting game. Now, some Guilty Gears you may like more than others, but as far as the series is concerned, if you're into 2D fighters, this is absolutely something you want to play. And I just can't say enough how amazing the visuals are in this game. Outside of the core fighting mechanics, which are in their own right incredible, this game just looks and sounds amazing. It has this punk rock aesthetic mixed with almost like an Asian cyberpunk theme, but each move set, each character, everything is just chock full of frames of animation. Everything is fluid, and you really feel like you're watching an anime come to life while you're controlling your character. Everything from the backgrounds to the settings to the music to just kind of how it looks and feels. It's just downright some of the best visuals and mechanics in a 2D fighting game. I would say that I prefer this to something like the Street Fighter Alpha series, which is one of my other favorite 2D fighting game franchises. So like I said, if you've never played this before, by all means, you definitely should check it out, because it is 100% worth giving a shot. Now, as far as the gameplay itself is concerned, it is quite a difficult game, and I haven't been playing Guilty Gear as much recently as I used to, so I am a little bit rusty. I mean, I make videos on so many different series, and it's kind of hard for me to remember all the movesets from everything just because I'm always blopping about, but I was able to get to round 3 or 4 within 20 minutes of just kind of casual play for this capture. But when you get really good at Guilty Gear and you find a character that you like, it's going to really open up for you, and you're going to start to get a real feel for how the game works. And it's really easy to get a lot better at the game. And then additionally, Arc System Works has BlazBlue as well, which is my preferred franchise from them recently. When that first came out, I think it was 11 years ago that I bought the original BlazBlue. I absolutely fell in love with that game, and I've been playing that franchise ever since. But even moving on to the next stage here, I just can't get over how lush this game really looks. Every square inch of the screen is just dripping with detail, and every single character moves, like I said earlier. It's like you're playing an anime game. That's the best way I can describe it. It's just incredible how many frames that the Atomiswave and Dreamcast could move around. It just is one of those games that feels extra special. And that's what I've always loved about the series, is not only is it a really good fighting game, but it just feels like a cartoon in motion. But what I'm going to let you do now is just watch a little bit more of the game. Actually, I'm pretty close to the end of the match here, so maybe I'll wait a second. I do these commentaries live, so you never know what I'm going to say, because I never know what I'm going to say. But like I said, it is so incredible we're getting so many ports to the Dreamcast recently. It just, who would have thought in 2020 we would have all of this? And Faust is generally my character that I go to when I'm playing the game. So I'll let you watch this match. The music's incredible, and I'll be back in about a minute. We'll close out on Guilty Gear X 1.5. I'm never quite sure what's going on with Faust there in the paper bag on top of his head, but it's just kind of the charm of the game in and of itself is that it's just also a really weird game, and it's just kind of one of those things where don't question it too much. But I always love, especially when doing these captures, playing against the character I just used in the game, because it's always interesting to see what moves the CPU can pull off, because like I said, it's been a long time since I played Guilty Gear. I'm not really super up on it. It's probably like 3 or 4 years since I popped this into my Dreamcast, so I was relearning as I go. But like I said earlier, I just can't believe in 2020 we're getting so many new games for the Dreamcast. It was always conjectured that the Atomiswave games could be ported over, but nobody had really tried. Even I mentioned it in a few videos that, the specs are basically identical. If you could get the code to execute, it should work perfectly fine. It's the same thing I've been doing with 3DO M2, trying to get the Konami arcade games launching on the consumer hardware and vice versa. And it's still a project I'm working on, but it's always so much fun to see these things happen and be able to make these videos in real time, because while I'm doing this voiceover, there easily could be another release sitting up on the Dreamcast talk forums. I recorded this video, the capture, last night. I woke up this morning and the Rumblefish and the Rumblefish 2 were available to download, and I'll be doing the voiceover for those right after I do these. So it's just coming hot and fast for Dreamcast releases, and it's something I never would have guessed about in the fall of 2020. I'd be more excited about the Dreamcast again than I would be for the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X. Also because I can't find either one of those for order, but that's a completely different story. But like I said, if you've never played Guilty Gear, you absolutely owe it to yourself to check this out. If you really enjoy Guilty Gear X on the Dreamcast and you own that, 1.5 basically replaces that as a release. It's a little bit more balanced, it's a little bit more even, and if you're going to play one of the games, I definitely recommend you just play this version. But like I said, all around, it plays incredible, it sounds incredible, it looks incredible. Arc System Works has some of the best looking visuals in 2D fighting games, and even today, now that they're using 3D polygons and making them look like 2D sprites, they're still continually making things that look amazing. But if you could do me a huge favor, go down below, hit like and subscribe, ring that notification bell. Definitely helps us out. If you feel so inclined, we got a Patreon link down there as well. But I will be releasing more Atomiswave to Dreamcast videos as I get them made. And I'll have videos on Friday and Sunday, as well as our mainline series on Tuesday. But thanks so much for watching, guys. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. I definitely love chatting with you guys, not just yelling into the echo chamber. But you tell me, are you excited about these new Dreamcast games? Are you following along as closely as I am? Do you still own a Dreamcast? Are you emulating them? Or are you using an optical disc emulator on original hardware? I'd be curious to hear what you guys are doing below. Short of that, thanks so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time with another Atomiswave to Dreamcast port. Bye-bye.